From the North Country's news station, 7 News Tonight starts now.
Tonight on 7 News, officials are warning the North Country about the dangers that can come with wood stoves. This after 2 fires in the town of Russell leave several people displaced. Plus, we stop in at Salmon Run Mall as those who didn't get exactly what they wanted this holiday are out checking what's still in shops the day after Christmas. And we get reaction from lawmakers as a bill signed by Governor Kathy Hochul last week is shaking up how local elections are handled. Thank you for joining us. I'm Zach Grady. Garrett Domblewski is off this evening. Our top story tonight, President Biden ordered airstrikes against Iranian-backed militia groups overnight in Iraq. The strikes are in response to a drone attack on an airbase in Iraq that wounded 3 U.S. service members, one of them critically. CBS News correspondent Nicole Skenga with the latest details from the White House.
U.S. forces carried out airstrikes on a militant group based in Iraq. The strikes early Tuesday targeted 3 sites controlled by Kataib Hezbollah, a group backed by Iran. President Biden ordered the strikes believed to have killed a number of militant fighters. The move was in retaliation for a drone attack on an airbase used by U.S. troops near the city of Erbil. That attack wounded 3 Americans, one of them critically. The Iraqi government condemned the U.S. airstrikes, calling it a hostile act, but the Biden administration says it will do what it takes to protect U.S. personnel based in the region. The Pentagon says militant groups have carried out more than 100 attacks on U.S. forces in Syria and Iraq since Hamas attacked Israel October 7. The U.S. continues to support Israel in its war against Hamas. Nicole Skenga, CBS News, the White House.
A Christmas Eve fire leaves 4 in the town of Russell without a home. It's the second house fire in 1 week, both being total losses. 7 News reporter Shambrenda sat down with the town supervisor as he's warning residents about using their wood stoves this winter.
Within the span of 4 days, the town of Russell and its volunteer fire department saw 2 structure fires that have displaced 6 people in total. The most recent fire in the town happened on Christmas Eve at 270 Pirates Russell Road, around 1 in the afternoon, where 6 fire departments were called out to respond. Smoke is still billowing from the exposed basement of the burnt-down home days after the blaze. 4 residents of the home escaped unharmed, but lost 9 animals to the fire. County fire investigators were on scene at the time of the fire, but would not reveal the cause. Another home in the town of Russell was deemed a total loss after a fire last Wednesday. Greg Givens, chief of the Russell Volunteer Fire Department, says the fire department was called to 16 Mill Street to reports of a stovepipe fire around 1:30 that morning. 2 dogs were lost in that fire, but the residents of the home were evacuated safely. Chief Givens says the amount of fires in this short period of time have been surprising to him.
This time of year, we usually deal with a lot of chimney fires. Okay. But as far as structure fires, we're normally not this busy at all.
According to Russell Town Supervisor Tim White, he says residents should be aware of what they're burning, especially in warm temperature days such as this.
It's tough for people burning wood stoves, doing any of that. They smolder more than they really burn. Just got to be careful watching your stovepipes and making sure you keep them clean and everything's safe.
White is encouraging residents to check their chimney and stovepipes at least once a month to make sure they are clean to avoid fires like this in the future. If residents can do that, White says the risk of chimney and structure fires can be lowered. Sean Brenda, 7 News.
Governor Kathy Hochul signed a bill on Friday that will shake up how local elections are handled. The bill is getting mixed reviews from local lawmakers. 7 News reporter Chad Charette spoke to some of them today to get their reactions.
A number of town and county elections on odd years are moving to even years as part of new legislation that Governor Kathy Hochul says aims to expand access to the ballot and increase voter turnout. Among local Republican officials, the decision is controversial. Assemblyman Scott Gray says he's worried local issues will be drowned out amid larger statewide topics.
I think local elections deserve their own cycle because the issues that are close to the people and important to the people deserve their own airtime.
Gray believes the decision will have an especially negative impact on elections like sheriff, county clerk, and treasurer, which will remain on odd years. Shrinking the ballot may cause less folks to head to the polls.
drastically low turnout, right? It is going to be very difficult. They're going to be the only elections on the ballot.
Governor Hochul made the announcement last Friday, the start of a holiday weekend. That has drawn criticism from Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, who accused the governor of hiding the law, calling it a blatant power grab. Gray has similar criticisms.
If there's anything that needs to be said about transparency in Albany, it's that right there, right? When you sign a legislation near 5 o'clock on Friday before a long holiday weekend.
According to Hochul, the move is the first step in a plan to align elections for all offices. That would require a constitutional amendment, however. She has said she would support one. Chad Charette, 7 News.
We'll head over to the Weather Center now. John Kubis joining us. John, it was beautiful and sunny all weekend. What can we expect the rest of this week?
It looks like a little bit of a cool down heading our way in a couple of days, Zach. Overnight tonight, keeping it rather mild for most anyways, and I think tomorrow's going to be another warm day. Considering the time of year anyways, with all the warmth, we're dealing with the clouds and periods of showers overnight tonight, rain becoming more and more likely virtually all day tomorrow, so we'll talk more about that. Turning colder for the weekend, and with that cool down comes the risk for some snow showers coming out the end of Lake Ontario. All right, checking the maps. First weather brought to you by Doors Plus in Adams Center. Notice some scattered showers outside right now, and more organized precipitation the further south one goes, down towards the southern tier and also over Pennsylvania as well. So we'll watch that precipitation and also those temperatures. We'll talk more about that here in a few. Let's send it back to you.
Thanks, John. The holiday season can put a strain on local volunteer-run food pantries. 7 News reporter Thomas Caffarella learns tonight how one local pantry is thriving, all thanks to help from the community.
Demand is normally up for food pantries during the holiday season, and at the Town of Lyme Food Pantry, it's no different.
Everybody wants to feed their family really well at Christmas time, of course, and especially this year with the inflation of food, it's very, very expensive to do that.
The Lyme Food Pantry is completely volunteer-run, feeding 574 people this year, 103 people in the month of December, which is up by 30 from November.
This pantry allows anybody to come from the area, and they don't have to give an income rating or anything.
After Thanksgiving, these shelves were empty. Now, even after the holiday season, the food pantry is filled with perishable and non-perishable foods and toiletries too.
They're not going to go hungry. That's our motto.
You might be surprised to see so much food here after Christmas. No state funding goes into this food wall. It's all community-driven. A true testament to the members of the community.
And just down the road, Carrie Green, owner of the Blue Heron restaurant, says she donates to the pantry frequently.
One of my biggest beliefs is you support local. And you should support the people that support you, but also support an organization that keeps 100% of their proceeds local.
Going beyond donating, she fundraises at her restaurant to help keep the pantry stocked.
And we were able to fill 4 huge boxes of items that people all donated to us to give to the food pantry.
To help prepare for the holiday rush, 5th graders from Lyme Central School helped packed orders to bring smooth days of giving back to the community during a busy holiday season. Thomas Caffarella, 7 News.
Christmas may have come and gone, but that does not mean the holiday shopping season is over with yet. Salmon Run Mall in the town of Watertown opened its doors early once again for holiday shoppers the day after Christmas. Stores in the mall were open and ready to accept returns from those whose presence under the tree was not exactly the right one. At the same time, shoppers are using some of those holiday gift cards, looking to find the perfect Christmas gift the day afterwards.
I got one for Ulta and a vanilla one, so I could spend the vanilla one anywhere.
A tip for shoppers this season: keeping your holiday gift cards in a safe and easy-to-remember location. The consumer finance company Bankrate reports that nearly half of all Americans have at least one unspent gift card still in their possession. And if you're driving around Watertown's public square on Wednesday, be prepared for some lane closures and delays. The road in front of the First Baptist Church will be closed from 7 a.m. to about 4 p.m. while crews assemble the church's weather vane. The weather vane was removed in the fall of 2022 for restoration. Drivers traveling from Public Square to Mill Street, Factory Street and the Black River Parkway will be diverted to Mechanic and High Streets. Drivers traveling from Mill Street wishing to turn onto State Street from Public Square will be diverted to Factory Street. The City Department of Public Works encourages drivers to use alternative routes and expect delays. Still to come tonight, Mel Busler. He's going to make his way down the chimney and here with your North Country Sports Report.
Hey, Zach, we're going to take a look at the Watertown boys basketball team. That story in sports.
Plus, from cuffs to the courtroom, we take a look back at 2023 and the year that was for law and order in the North Country.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Garrett Domblewski. Tonight's weather with John Kubis. And your North Country sports with Mel Busler.
Your winning lotto numbers for Tuesday, the evening daily numbers, 810, and the win for 8526. As the year comes to an end, we look back at 2023. Tonight, we continue our series in the courtroom. 7 News reporter Brendan Straub wraps up the year that was for law and order in the North Country.
I miss you, bud.
That was Frederick Wing in May at the gravesite of his friend Ronald Huck Durham. 3 months earlier, Wing was arrested and charged with Durham's murder after Durham was found stabbed to death at East Riverside Cemetery in the town of Gouverneur. However, Wing would no longer be deemed a suspect after new evidence was found at the home of 67-year-old William Freeman, who was killed on March 2nd in his home in the town of Rossee.
Which made it clear both to myself and law enforcement that Mr. Wing wasn't the person ultimately responsible for Mr. Durham's death. And we felt that it would be a miscarriage of justice to keep Mr. Wing incarcerated.
Police would then arrest 46-year-old Adam Smith and charge him with the deaths of both Durham and Freeman. He faces life in prison without the possibility of parole if convicted. A sentencing hearing has yet to be set. On Pillar Point back in May, 45-year-old Nathan Crump would give authorities all they could handle after he allegedly shot at officers when they arrived at his County Route 59 home. According to court documents, officers recalled hearing bullets whizzing past their heads as the standoff with Crump lasted into the night. Crump would then start a fire inside his adjacent boathouse and tried to flee the scene by riding a tractor. He would eventually be tased and taken into custody.
We're very, very lucky that everyone came out of this alive.
Crump is still in the Jefferson County Jail with bail set at $1 million. Then to a sentencing in Canton after murder of a Potsdam student left the community devastated. 32-year-old Michael Snow was sentenced to 22 years to life in prison for the shooting death of student Elizabeth Howell back in 2022. District Attorney Gary Pasqua told 7 News in July that Howell was not Snow's original target. He planned to target former coworkers and a family member, but the plan didn't work out. Snow sorry for his actions on the day he was sentenced.
I would like to extend my sincerest apologies to everybody impacted by my actions, especially to the family of Elizabeth.
Another sentencing in St. Lawrence County for a crime committed more than 3 years ago. LaShawna Charlton was also sentenced to 20 years in prison for the death of her daughter, Trayana Somerville. Somerville was found dead in their home in 2020 after being beaten and starved. She was days away from her high school graduation. Charlton will also face 5 years of supervision after she's released from prison. Just recently, a CBS affiliate in D.C. reports Watertown natives Marianne Mooney Rondon and her son Raphael Rondon were both sentenced to house arrest and to pay thousands in fines for their part in the January 6th riots in 2021. The pair was accused of helping another rioter steal then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's laptop. Brendan Straub, 7 News.
We're back after the break with your full forecast and John Kubis.
Now, tonight's weather.
Cloudy outside, a little bit of green showing up on the Doppler radar as well. All right, let's check those maps, and there you see some showers, mainly over the Adirondacks, and it looks like portions of St. Lawrence County as well. I am anticipating the Doppler radar to fill in, so to speak, later on tonight, and the rain is likely virtually all day tomorrow. All right, as we widen out the view, it's really mild outside, right? The reason for that, spinning the atmosphere over towards St. Louis, over towards Omaha. On the eastern side of this low pressure, more of a southerly wind flow. So as long as we keep these winds from the south, we will be enjoying mild temps, and that'll be the case tonight and tomorrow as well. All right, let's check outside right now. 46 degrees, cloudy skies, winds from the east at about 3. Pressure 3009, that is high. Will be dropping over the next couple of days anyways, as that low slowly makes its way towards the coast. Futurecast showing us overnight tonight. There you see the rain kind of building back in come tomorrow morning. Around 9 a.m., virtually every locale getting at least a little bit of precipitation, and that'll be the case pretty much all day tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, a couple of breaks, but still dealing with some showers. And all rain, though. It just shows how mild it's going to be. As far as overnight tonight, your lows, 44 Rodman, Adams, 43 in Carthage, upper 30s for you in the Bay, with rain becoming more likely after midnight tonight in Lewis County. Lows in the 40s, 43 Harrisville, 40 in Turin, and also in Osceola, with rain becoming likely after midnight. St. Lawrence County, a couple of showers now, but rain becoming likely towards daybreak. 34 Messina, a bit cooler up north. 36 in Norfolk. Compare that to 40 in Wanakina and 42 for you in Governor. Heading out the door early tomorrow morning, say around 6, 7, or 8. Temperatures mid-40s. This is for Watertown, but you know, it's kind of what you see is what you get. A bit cooler up towards Messina and Ogdensburg, and potentially a bit milder the further south one goes. Rain becoming likely tomorrow morning. And that will be the case tomorrow. Looks like rain and highs right around 45 degrees. A bit colder the further north one goes. Thursday, some rain, some snow, and 41. Temperatures falling back into the low 40s for highs. On Friday, falling temperatures into the upper 30s, so cooler still. And some rain and snow showers on Saturday and Sunday. Highs very seasonable, right around 32, 33 degrees. Lows in the mid-20s. Maybe some snow showers coming off the end of Lake Ontario. Monday and Tuesday, kind of more of the same. No really big storms heading our way, but more of a nuisance type weather pattern for the weekend and the start of next week with very seasonable temperatures. That's all I have for now. Coming up next, Mel has sports. Stay tuned.
Now your North Country sports.
Time for your Toyota Sports Report. The morning after Christmas found the Watertown boys basketball team getting ready for a tournament in Syracuse. Work ethic by the Cyclones paying off so far this season. The Cyclones are off to a 5-2 overall start to the season. Watertown holding down the third spot in Section 3 Class AA. And the Cyclones currently lead the Frontier League AB division at 3-0. For Coach Ed Adams, an exciting start to the season.
Yes, we started off a lot better this year than we have the last few years at 5-2. The two losses we had were tough losses. We lost to a very good Fulton team. They're number one in the AA part of the section, and Canada's number one in the A's. So they were losses to teams that were very, very good teams, and we've taken care of business so far in the Frontier League. We're 3-0 at this point, and we had a good quality win the other night against Auburn, who's, again, a really good quality AA team.
Yeah, best start since my sophomore year. I feel like we've been ready. We've been playing since third grade, all of us together, so I feel like our chemistry's all there. And then people get hot. I mean, we've had people with 20-point games just back-to-back. And then, coaching is really well. I think it's a good trade.
Like a fine wine, this group of players are aging well. They've been playing together for a long time. That helps make this year's team a cohesive unit.
I'm a 3-year, Parker Moffitt's a 3-year, Jack Adams is a 3-year. He's going to be a 4-year next year. And then everyone else has been playing all their life. I mean, I just feel like, again, our chemistry's really well together, so we work, we bond, we have team parties, so, I mean, it's always fun.
Yeah, definitely. We have all juniors and seniors on the team, and we've all been playing together since elementary school, all the way up through, so it's good.
Yeah, it helps a lot. I mean, I knew some of these guys since I was a young kid, so, yeah, I mean, I feel like knowing each other helps us be a more cohesive team and all that, and, yeah, I feel like it's definitely hugely beneficial for us if we all have good chemistry and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we all grew up playing together, so it's definitely nice, team chemistry from past years. We play with these same group of kids for 5 or 6 years now. Everyone knows how they play. Everyone knows what everyone else does. It's really gluing together now.
100%. We build chemistry, so when we play fast, we kind of know where everybody's going to be and what everybody's strengths are and help us win.
Up next for Watertown, a trip to East Syracuse, Manoa, for a holiday tournament Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, we open up against a very good Baldwinsville team who's 4-2 in the AAA division of the section. It'll be a true test for us. They have some size. and we would play the winner or loser of Whitesboro and ESM the next day. Again, 2 quality opponents. It gives us a chance to get out of the Frontier League and play some good Syracuse area teams.
Tough games early on will help the resume come sectional time. Well, tonight's local scoreboard is brought to you by DPAO, an organization benefiting those in need, celebrating its 50th year of bringing entertainment to the North Country. Always looking for sponsorship for the new year. Give them a call. As we speak, work is underway for the 2024 schedule of events. Stay tuned for updates. Well, just one game to report on this day after Christmas. Girls high school hockey, Beekmantown defeats Messina by a score of 4-3. The Detroit Pistons have made NBA history. Detroit became the league's first team to lose 27 straight games in a season, falling 118-112 to the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets beat the Pistons on Saturday in Brooklyn, handing them their then 26th consecutive defeat to match the 2010-11 Cleveland Cavaliers and the 2013-14 Philadelphia 76ers for most losses in a row within one season. Congratulations. And I guess you can't congratulate the Pistons, can you? Oh, well. Chiefs lost again. The Eagles struggled against the lowly Giants. The 49ers were embarrassed at home. Christmas Day was rough on Super Bowl contenders, except for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson boosted his MVP chances, and Baltimore made a major statement with a convincing 33-19 victory over San Francisco in a primetime matchup that featured the NFL's 2 number 1 seeds. Monday's results, along with the rest of Week 16, left more questions open across the NFL. There's 2 weeks remaining to answer those before the playoffs. And freshman Darius Taylor returned from a leg injury to rush for a career-high 208 yards. Minnesota beat Bowling Green 30-24 in the Quick Lane Bowl on Tuesday. 6-7 Minnesota, which was selected for the bowl because it had the best academic progress rate among 5-win teams, won its 7th consecutive bowl game overall and 5th in a row under coach P.J. Fleck. Taylor, who had missed the Gophers' previous 5 games, had 35 carries, including a 17-yard touchdown run midway through the 4th quarter that gave Minnesota a 30-17 lead. The 5'11" running back, a Detroit native, averaged 176 yards during a 3-game stretch in September, but had only played in 1 game since. Well, that's it for now. We got some time to spare, so I'm just going to take my time. Oh, yeah, Zach Grady is coming up after this timeout.
Mild tomorrow, not as warm as today, though. I think we'll have a little bit of rain and a whole lot of clouds as well. Mid-40s at 7, upper 40s in the afternoon.
Emily and Beth are back behind the desk in the morning for your report. Thank you for joining us tonight on 7 News.